So to make sure that we have a greater understanding of where this session sits within that series, the intention behind this is to make sure that we have a greater understanding of essentially our community, of everything that exists within our community. Right now, we're in AAPI, or Asian American Pacific Islander Month. And it's our job to make sure that we highlight the aspects within those cultures that make our greater or collective culture greater and better. And so with that being said, it's important for us to make sure that we're highlighting and giving space for all the different pockets within our communities to make sure that they have what they need and what they would like in order to share with us what we feel we need. And so at this time, I'm actually going to screen share something different. This will probably be the most that you will hear me talk throughout. I'm going to be giving the floor to the presenters, as this is their space and they know a lot more information about themselves than I do. And so before we get generally started, I'm going to just show the welcome that we put in our launch, and we're going to aim to show this at every beginning, just to make sure that we all have, again, a greater understanding of what this is connected to. And what we're going to be watching is a message from our county executive in connection to these events, as well as AAPI Heritage Month. Okay.
In honor of Asian American and Pacific Islander Month, I would like to welcome you to the Office of Human Rights and Equity's AAPI Heritage Month celebration. During the last year, AAPI communities have endured an increase of violence, hate speech, and persecution due to fear, ignorance, and a lack of genuine connection and understanding. We have a responsibility to ensure that all of our residents are and feel safe, respected, and treated with dignity that we all deserve. This month and beyond, we reflect upon the historic and current contributions of our AAPI brothers and sisters. This event will provide entertainment, education, and a genuine way for us to learn more about our AAPI community. Participating in this event are community members and organizations that have a desire to share a piece of their culture to enrich our collective culture. Please join us as we continue to grow, learn, laugh, work, and play as a unified community. Thank you.
All right, so again, that was our county executive essentially just giving us a welcome and a launch to these events to make sure that we have an understanding of essentially what this is a part of and why we're here and what this is for. And so at this time, I honestly just want to kick the floor over to our first presenter, and it's actually going to be the young lady that you all see on the screen. Her name is Zunlo, and she's going to essentially give us an understanding of her story, as well as the connection to her culture that she would like to share with us. And so again, I'm going to fade to the background. If you have any questions during her presentation, feel free to put them in the chat, and I'll try to make sure that they come up.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Songlo Mito, and I am 20 years old. I am currently studying accounting, and at the same time, I am serving in the U.S. Army as a reservist. I live with my family. I have one older sister and one younger brother. I am originally from Burma. In Burma, there are 7 different ethnicities: Kachin, Kaya, Kayinchin, Mon, Rakhine, Shan, and I am Gachin. This is the Gachin traditional, one of the Gachin traditional dress as well. And here is my story. I ran away from my country to Malaysia when I was 12 years old with my family. The reason I cannot stay in my country any longer is because of the ethnic persecution by the Myanmar military for over 60 years. It has been 6 decades. It needs to stop now. We have enough. Women were raped and killed. Parents lost their children. Children lost their parents. The Myanmar military burned down all the villages, houses, schools, churches, and all the properties that we own. Many children have already grown up without getting any education because they do not have any opportunity to go to school anymore. It has been 60 years. There is no safe place for them to sleep, and many children have become orphans. They have to witness their parents, their siblings, brutally being killed by the military coups. Now, some of them living in Gachin IDP camps known as Gachin internally people, and some of them are Gachin IDP camp known as Gachin internally displaced people, and some of them living in the forest. I was considered one of the lucky ones as I was able to escape. I lived in Malaysia for about 4 years. Then at the age of 16, my family finally immigrated to the United States. Then I started school in Hammond High School as a freshman high schooler. When we first arrived in the US, there were many challenges that we have to face since it was a completely new place, new environment, new culture, and new language. But my parents were very, very grateful that my siblings and I have the opportunity to go to school and pursue the education that we need. In 2020, I graduated high school as an honor student. Right after I graduated high school, I joined the army. The reason I joined is because I want to get better at myself. Also, I want to go to college and I want to help people. I also want to contribute something to my country and for my people as well. After I got back from the training, I registered for my college classes, and I've been doing well in school since then. And I just finished my first semester a few days ago. I also want to talk about what's happening in Myanmar right now. Uh, on February 1st, 2021, the Myanmar military detained the elected democratic government official that will lead the country for the next upcoming 5 years and took over the country by staging a vote fraudulent without any evidence, which is against people's votes. Myanmar has been suffering from this abusive military practice over the past 60 years. The military wants to control the country as a dictatorship. The whole country has been protesting against this military coup since February 1st, and thousands of people have been killed like animals on the street by the coups because of using their right of freedom of speech in favor of democracy. Thousands of doctors, journalists, and public figures, students, and peaceful protesters have been illegally detained by the coup. Citizens are being shot, women and children have been critically hurt by bullets, slingshots, and are beaten up mercilessly. Thousands of people are being kidnapped and arrested by the coup. They even want to cut off phone lines, national TV channels, and even ban social media to stop us from letting the world know. Currently, the Miss Universe Myanmar cannot go back to Burma yet. Uh, she is already under arrest warrant since the day she left for Florida because they know she's going to speak out about Myanmar at the Miss Universe. So please help us by sharing the news to the world and pray for Myanmar. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. That was beautifully said, beautifully said. I really appreciate you essentially allowing us to see a glimpse into your story because I understand it might not be easy to share some of that information. With that being said, I actually just wanted to ask if there was anyone at this time that has a question that they would like to ask. So I'm gonna pay attention to the chat just in case anyone would like to essentially say anything. But at this time, we are waiting for one more presenter. I think they may be having, oh, I see a question. It says, so Zonglong, you might be able to see this in the chat yourself, but I'm gonna read it out just in case you can't see it. So this is from Marianne, and it says, can you describe some of your cultural beliefs that you still do in your home? So can you describe some of your cultural beliefs that you still do in your home? Oh, you're muted.
Sorry, some of the cultural beliefs. Well, I can think of it now. Well, our culture, for example, I think it's happened to maybe all Asians. We cannot wear shoes in our house. We have to take off at the door. You know, we're not allowed to wear shoes in our house. And also, my mom always cook. She always cook the kitchen traditional food. So we always get to eat our traditional food even in this United States. And so what else? That's it. And I also we have like my mom is very religious, so every Sunday we always have to like go to church. Like we cannot really like miss our like church. It's like Sunday is our church thing, and then my mom is a music teacher in our church, so we always sing choir every Sunday, and me and my sister is a part of praise and worship team in our church, and that's which somebody said.
Yep. So this says that they're asking, let's see, essentially it says, oh, so someone said very true, Filipinos as well. And I guess that was in connection to when you were talking about the shoes and similar customs.
Yeah.
And then it says spiritual practices. So if you don't mind sharing your spiritual practices or essentially what church you go to.
I go to Maryland Gachin Baptist Church, MKBC. That's we worship in our own language, which is Gachin. We have a few Gachin people living in Maryland, so we on Sunday we always get to see each other since it's a church day. So we always get to see each other, meet each other, and then worship in our church. Yeah. Yes, I'm still Baptist in Malaysia too. I go to Malaysia Gachin Baptist Church.
I have a question as well. My curiosity, if you don't mind.
Yes.
Got you. So you were saying yes to the a lot of to the Baptist question?
Oh, yes. I also like actually both. Actually, yeah. Are there a lot of Baptists in Malaysia? Yes. There were a lot of people from Myanmar, so there are also many Kachin people as well. So there are quite a lot, but not. Yeah, there are quite a lot. I would say that. Um, I have been actually. For the second question, I've been Baptist since I was in Myanmar. Uh, we always worship. We were like Baptist since Myanmar. Since Myanmar, so my parents were Baptist. Yes. Yes. So if you wanna ask me something.
Yes, definitely, definitely. So I'm curious in terms of as we're thinking about how important this is and this event is, and like just giving, I feel like space and being able to showcase a portion of our county that I feel like doesn't get seen a lot. Is there anything that you feel is very important that you want people to take away um, from this, knowing that this is going to be recorded and there might be the ability for a lot more people to see this and have a better understanding of just where you're coming from in your culture?
Yes, I would like to let everyone knows about what's happening in my country, in my state, my own people. I want everyone to know it, and I want uh to let the world know about it, and then help us. I want that. You know, uh from all my people from Burma, my own Gitchin people as well. When we ask them, like people, Gitchin people from this United States, or like people, Gitchin people from around the world, ask ask them, ask people in Burma, what do you want us to help you guys? And then they said, just tell our story to the world so that everyone will know what's really happening in Myanmar, and everyone will raise awareness about it.
Beautifully said, beautifully said. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I wanted to ask also for those of us that are on the panel, is there anyone else that has a question would like to ask? All right, so I think at this time we can take a little bit of a pause. Someone, thank you so much for sharing your story and giving us your time. I truly appreciate it. Please stay with us definitely because we're going to have another opportunity just in case there's more questions or things come up as we're going to continue with the session.
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity as well. Thank you so much for everyone who asked me a question as well. Thank you.
Of course, of course. Okay, so at this time, I'm going to actually be showing a video that was sent. And so this video is traditional dance. And so unfortunately, I'm trying to make sure we're doing some troubleshooting things in the background. Our other presenter is having a little bit of technical difficulties with connecting. So I'm going to try to remedy that. But I do want to make sure that we keep moving forward. And since I do have access to this video, I'm going to show this video with the intention that we will have the opportunity to give some explanation. We're just waiting for, again, our presenter to come on. So all should be able to, oops, gotta make sure I did the right one. Okay. All right, that was beautiful. Before we move on, or I'm sorry, was there no sound? There was no audio? Just now realizing there was no audio. Marla, was there audio on your end, or was there no audio?
I had audio, but that's like a known problem with WebEx. Is sometimes when you play videos, some people can hear them and some people can't. But what we can do is, Trent, you can put the links to these performances in the chat, or we can send them to you later to make sure they're available. And we do apologize, but that's one of the challenges of the virtual world. And I saw it and heard it, and I do want to say that was a phenomenal dance, and I would love if someone would explain the cultural significance, because it wasn't just agility. I'm sure there was some spiritual and rites of passage or something involved, because it was deep. And thank you for sharing.
Yes, definitely. Thank you, Marla, for the suggestion. Also, just as a reminder, this is going to be recorded. So when we put this audio together and we put it with everything, the visual and everything, the audio will definitely be working in the recording because I heard everything on this end. But again, if you would like to watch it right now, I just put the link in the chat. In Zhonglong, I was curious if there was anything that you wanted to say in connection to the video.
Yeah, that was our brother Chin's cultural dance, the bamboo dance. So I know, since we are from the same country, I know, yeah, I saw the dances like quite often, like in ceremony celebration. So yeah, it was really nice, the dances. So I don't know really like I don't know the story behind like in details, because I am not Chin, so but I saw the beautiful dances like quite often. Yeah, I've seen them.
Thank you. Awesome. I really appreciate it. Okay. Does anyone have any other questions that they would like to say or any commentary? So I'm looking at the screen. I apologize for those of you that did not hear it. So I'm understanding that you probably did not have a chance to hear the beautiful singing. But even if it was in connection to the movement that you saw, if there's any questions before we move on. Right. So at this time, I actually want to move on with our next video, which is another performance. And again, I will make sure that I put this in the chat just in case we have the same issue, so that you'll be able to sync it with us. So I just put the video that we are about to watch in the chat for those of you that may have any audio difficulties. Another amazing performance. Again, just in case you had any issues hearing that, the link is in the chat, just in case you need it. So again, I kind of want to open up the space just as we did last time. If there's anyone that has any questions or comments about what we just watched, this would be the perfect opportunity. Zhonglong, I'm also curious your thoughts and how this would connect to your understanding or even just connect to your own culture or ethnic group within your culture.
For me, for me, it's like a language. The sounds they are done so are very beautiful. But I don't know what they were saying because I did not understand it. And also we also have some similarities as well. We also have some Gachin dances, stuff like that. I think that was really beautiful. I would say that that was a very beautiful dances, beautiful dress, and everything.
Yes, definitely. There was a question. Actually, I feel like it's kind of important to reiterate the fact that there are, I believe there's 7 or 8 different languages. And so it's really cool and interesting that we can be hearing something. And traditionally, even as we're talking about this event, right, we're thinking about AAPI, the Asian American Pacific Islander community, as not a monolith, as making sure that we're honoring each individual culture. But even within those individual cultures, there are multiple different languages, multiple different ethnicities. And so we can kind of get a greater understanding of the complexity. Zhong, thank you for communicating that and like showing that. There was a question also that was about the details in the dress, but I think that also you kind of talked about that when you were talking about the differences in culture.
Yes.
I'm wondering if you would mind actually coming on and giving us a little bit of a description or synopsis about what you're wearing right now, because I know that you're wearing something traditional.
Yes. Oh.
As long as you're comfortable, by the way.
Yeah, it's okay. This was a little bit dark. Just let me open it. Yes. So like this is the necklace that we use Actually, like I don't really I know the history, but it's just that these are made of the metals, so it's kind of like we dance like this is how we dance, and there's a lot of sounds. Uh, these are the back. This is how it is. This I don't really know the history, but how it's just like just a traditional dress. I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it.
Now, you're doing an amazing job of explaining it. Actually, really appreciate it. So like just to reiterate, like so the metal, even beyond like the historical component, is for sound, right? So that when you're moving around,
yeah,
it has like an extra flair. Awesome.
it's yeah, especially when you dance. This is like very. This is how it like. This, especially we Christian people like to dance a lot, so we always dance. I in my church too. Whenever we have something like Thanksgiving, Christmas, or New Year, we always dance. With our traditional dance, you know. And I am the one who teach like all the our kitchen dance to my youth friends. I'm like the one who is responsible for teaching the dance to the youth group. That, yeah. And then we kind of have in this coming July we have youth camp as well. So we are going to dance in a youth camp as well with the traditional dress. So yeah. I wish I could show you guys our kitchen dances as well if you don't mind. Because
Yeah, 100%. If you send it in the chat, I can screen share it for us. If you
yeah,
have like a video.
yes, I can send you the.
And also, not sure if you're good at multitasking, but there was a question that you could possibly think about. So someone was asking, I believe it's Mary, was asking if the metal components on the decorations, are they shells or do they represent something specifically?
Uh, I didn't. Oh, I think they might. I don't know about that. The medals.
No worries, no worries. They're just
I
circular,
didn't know
like
about
they just look
that.
like circular metal.
I think this right. She's talking about this.
Yeah, they kind of look like sand dollars a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't know about the fat girl. That was embarrassing. I will learn more about my my traditional clothes.
Please don't be embarrassed. I think we can all identify with not knowing as much as we probably should or
Yeah,
could about our own culture heritage.
yeah.
I definitely identify with that with you. So like, I actually appreciate you being vulnerable with us right now in this moment.
Thank you. I will share it with you on messages first. On message.
Yep, sounds good. And I'll bring it right up.
Yeah. One thing to know is like we Christian people like to dance a lot. So dancing has always been a part of my life and my culture and my people as well. You know, we dance, and especially we are Christian people are Christians. Most Christian people are Christians. So when we do dances with like to praise God and to worship God, you know, we use our dances to worship and to praise God. Yes. Traditional.
Beautiful, beautiful.
I sent you one as well.
Let's see. Uh, did you send it in an email or did you send it on the chat?
On the oh okay, that would be
I
much.
can also find it on the email. I was just curious.
No, it's not in the email. It's in the I sent you on message like
Oh, can you act? Is it possible for you to send it on
like,
this chat? Is
yeah.
that possible? I see what you're saying. I just can't, unfortunately.
Oh, okay. Yes, I think I can. I just sent it.
Got it.
Yeah.
Give me literal. Oh. Okay, bringing it right up. And thank you for the explanation. And I think this is really cool. We're gonna also give just time to explain after. For everyone who again might be having any audio difficulties, the link is in the chat. Okay, let's see.
Cảnh nhiên mà thật là ô bạn thôi 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 trời 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 chừng cứ cái yang ai
That was awesome. I would love to hear you give us kind of more of a breakdown or a synopsis of what that represents to you, and then if you just want to talk about what that represents for your culture. That was really cool.
Yeah, actually, to be honest, I do not quite understand the song lyrics, what they were saying, because they use the like old Gachin language. They use a lot of not slang. They use a lot of old language. It's called these girls are all like professional dancer. They are all professional dancer. Um,
They're like an older dialect.
yes, like that. Yeah,
Gotcha.
that's one.
Yeah, like colloquial, like language sometimes changes over time.
Yes. So yeah.
All right. Was there any other questions that anyone had? All right. So I do have another video. And this video is again provided to us by our presenter, who again is having technical difficulties at the time. But I want to make sure that I continue going through with the information. So this is going to be, I believe, a pageant. And I'm not sure if this was the young woman that you were referring to in yours in your earlier portion as well. Let's see.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, she wore the Chin national costume.
So this one is Miss Universe, and then there's also, yes, the article that is connected to the costume.
2020 winner ဆုရှင်ကတော့ဟာခါကိုစားပြုလာမဲ့သူစားဝင်းလွင်ဖြစ်ပါရဲ့ရှင်ချင်းဝေါ်မီဒီယာပရိသတ်များမင်္ဂလာပါလို့နှုတ်ခွန်းဆက်သပါတယ်မဲစကြဝဠာပြန်ပွဲလို့ခေါ်တဲ့ Miss Universe ပြန်ပွဲကြီးကိုမြန်မာနိုင်ငံကိုစားပြုပြီးတွားရောက်ရှင်ပြိုင်ဖို့အတွက်ပြုလုပ်တဲ့ Miss Universe မြန်မာ2020ပြန်ပွဲကြီးကိုဒီဇင်ဘာလ30ရက်နေ့မှာကျင်းပခဲ့ပါတယ်။အဲဒီပြန်ပွဲကြီးမှာ Miss Universe ဟာခါအနေနဲ့ရှင်ပြိုင်ခဲ့တဲ့အလှမဲ့သူစားဝိလွင်ကပထမဆုအရပူကိုစုခုသွားနိုင်ခဲ့ပါတယ်။ဒီပထမဆုရှင် Miss Universe မြန်မာ2020သူစားဝိလွင်ကိုသူမနေထိုင်ရာနေအိမ်ကိုတွားရောက်ပြီးတော့မှအခုလိုမျိုးတွေ့ဆုံစကားပြောခဲ့ကြပါတယ်အားလုံးပဲမင်္ဂလာပါရှင်ညီမနာမည်ကသူသားဝင်းလွင်ဖြစ်ပါတယ်ညီမဒီ Miss Universe ကိုဒါဝင်မပြိုင်တော့ညီမ model တယောက်ဖြစ်နေတာအလုပ်လုပ်ကိုင်ခဲ့ပါတယ်အခုတော့ချင်းပြည်နယ်ကိုစားပြုအနေနဲ့ဒါ Miss Universe မြန်မာတယောက်ဖြစ်သွားပါပြီအဲ့ဒီတော့ညီမအရန်ဝမ်းသာကြယူမိပါတယ်ဒါအချင်းလူမျိုးအတွက်လည်းညီမဒါဂုဏ်ဆောင်ပေးနိုင်တဲ့အနေဖြစ်တဲ့အတွက်ကြောင့်ညီမပို့ပြီးတော့ဒါဝမ်းသာကြယူမိပါတယ်ညီမရဲ့ပညာရေးရှင်းကတော့ညီမ final year image ပါပြီးတော့ diploma in hospitality management မှာလည်း diploma ရထားပါတယ်ရှင်ဟုတ်ညီမဒီအလားမယ်ပြိုင်ပွဲတွေကိုဒါငငယ်တည်းကဒါ internet မှာရောဒါ video လေးတွေရောခွေရနေရောအကုန်လုံးကြည့်ပြခဲ့တယ်ဒါ Miss Universe ကိုပဲညီမငငယ်တည်းကလည်းကြည့်တာဖြစ်တဲ့အတွက်ကြောင့်ညီမအမကိုယ်တိုင်ကလည်းဒါ Miss ပွဲပြိုင်မှုတယ်အဲ့တော့ညီမအတွက်ကဒီအလားမယ်လောကနေတိတ်ပြီးတော့ဒါမစိမ့်တော့ဘူးပေါ့နော်အခုဒီနှစ်မှာလည်းညီမအသက်22လည်းဖြစ်သွားပြီကိုလည်းဒါကို6ပေါ်ကိုရည်တည်နိုင်တဲ့အရွယ်လည်းဖြစ်ပြီးတော့ညီမအိမ်မက်တစ်ခုပေါ့နော်အဲ့ဒီအတွက်ကြောင့်ညီမဒါဒီ Miss Universe မြန်မာကိုပဲဝင်ပြီးတော့ပြိုင်နေဖြစ်တာပါတခြားပွဲတွေလည်းဒါပြိုင်ဖို့ရည်ရွယ်ချက်တော့မရှိခဲ့ဘူးအခုပထမဆုံးပြိုင်တဲ့ပွဲမှာဒီ Miss Universe မြန်မာတိုက်တယ်ရသွားတဲ့အတွက်လည်းအတိုင်းမသိဝင်လာပါတယ်ရှင်မနော်ညီမကအားလုံးလည်းဒါညီမဖွင့်ပြောထားတယ်ညီမဒီချင်းလူမျိုးမဟုတ်ဘူးညီမရန်ကုန်ကပဲရန်ကုန်ဇာတိပဲညီမဝင်ပြိုင်ခဲ့တာလည်း Miss Universe ရန်ကုန်မှာပဲညီမဝင်ပြီးတော့ဒါ join ခဲ့တာဒါပေမဲ့အကြောင်းမျိုးကြောင့်ဒီ city driver ပေါ့နော်အဲ့ဒီညမှာရန်ကုန်၄ရောက်ပြင်တာချင်းပြည်နယ်အတွက်လည်းသူတို့ရွေးမယ်လို့လုပ်လိုက်တာပေါ့နော်ဒီနှစ်ကနည်းနည်းခက်ခဲဖြစ်သွားတာနဲ့နည်းနည်းလေးကတ်သွားတာနဲ့ဒါချင်းပြည်နယ်မှာပထမဆုံး Miss Universe ဖြစ်တော့ပွဲသွားလုပ်ဖို့အတွက်ဒါခက်ခဲတွေလက်မှတ်ဆက်သွယ်ရေးတွေတခြားခက်ခဲရှိတဲ့အတွက်ကြောင့်ဒီနှစ်ကိုတော့သူတို့ရန်ကုန်ကနေပဲဒါကိုစားပြုဝင်ရဖို့အတွက်သူတို့ဒါရွေးချယ်လိုက်တာဖြစ်တဲ့အတွက်ကြောင့်ညီမကိုဒါ city driver ကနေပြီးတော့ဒီဟာခကိုစားမျိုးတွေပေးခဲ့တယ်အဲ့ဒီအတွက်ကြောင့်ညီမလည်းဒါညီမကိုပေးရခဲ့တဲ့တာဝန်ပေါ့ညီမအကောင်းဆုံးဒါအကြည့်ပုံလို့ဆောင်ရွက်ခဲ့ခြင်းဖြစ်ပါတယ်ညီမ
ဒီချင်းပြည်နယ်ဟာခါမျိုးတော့တခါမှမရောက်ဘူးသေးဘူးပေါ့နော်ညီမခီးသွားတယ်ဒါပေမဲ့ချင်းပြည်နယ်ကကြောင့်နည်းနည်းသွားလာလည်းနည်းနည်းခက်ခဲရှိတယ်ပြီးတော့ညီမတို့အနေနဲ့လည်းဒါဟိုအခါကွင်းမတင်သေးလို့ပေါ့နော်အဲ့ဒီတော့ညီမတခါမှတော့မရောက်ဘူးသေးဘူးဒါပေမဲ့သွားဖို့လည်းဒါအခုစူးစမ်းနေတယ်ဒါပေမဲ့ဟိုကိုဗစ်ကလည်းဖြစ်သွားတဲ့အတွက်ညီမတို့သွားဖို့အတွက်မဖြစ်လိုက်ဘူးပေါ့နော်အစကတော့ဒီဟာခါကိုစားပြုရပြီးတဲ့ City Driver နဲ့အတူညီမတို့ဒီချင်းပြည်နယ်သွားဖို့အတွက်အကုန်လုံးစီစဉ်ပြီးပြီဒါပေမဲ့ကိုဗစ်ကဖြစ်သွားတော့ညီမတို့သွားမဲ့အစီအစဉ်ပြတ်သွားတယ်ပေါ့နော်အခုနောက်ပိုင်းလမ်းမဆက်သွယ်ရေးလည်းပိုကောင်းလာပြီဖြစ်တဲ့အတွက်ကိုဗစ်အခြေအနေပြီးသွားရင်တော့ညီမတို့ဒါလာလည်ဖို့အတွက်ကြိုးစားပါမယ်လို့ဟုတ်ညီမဒီ national costume မှာပေါ့နော်ညီမဟာခါမျိုးကိုစားပြုဖြစ်တဲ့အတွက်ညီမတို့ဒီဟာခါဒီဒီဇိုင်နာတွေနဲ့အကုန်လုံးတိုင်ပင်နေညီမကကြောက်ဒီချင်းပြည်နယ်အကြောင်းလဲဒါတေချာမသိရတဲ့အတွက်ကြောင့်ညီမအခုတခုခုအမားလည်းမဖြစ်ချင်ဘူးဒါသူများရဲ့ရိုးရာကိုကအဲ့လိုပြတ်မှာလဲစိုးတယ်တာဝန်လည်းအရင်ကြီးတယ်အဲ့အတွက်ညီမတေချာနားလဲတဲ့သူတွေဒီချင်းပြည်နယ်အကြောင်းတေချာသိတဲ့သူတွေတက်ကြွတဲ့လူတွေကိုမေးတယ်သူတို့ကလည်းဒီလိုဆိုပြပြဒီရဲ့ချင်းဟာခါမျိုးရဲ့တကယ်ကိုရိုးရာအတိုင်းပေါ့နော်ခွန်ကြွယ်အမျိုးသမီးမိမပြူအဲ့အတိုင်းကိုညီမဒါဟိုအတက်နိုင်ဆုံးညီမတာဝန်တစ်ခုယူပြီးတော့ညီမအကောင်းဆုံးဒါညီမချပြခဲ့ပေါ့နော်ညီမ performance ကိုလည်းအားလုံးကချင်းလူမျိုးတွေကစားအကုန်လုံးကဒါသဘောကျကြတယ်အားပေးကြတဲ့အတွက်ညီမအရန်ဝတ်တာပါတယ်
ဟုတ်ကဲ့ပါရှင်ယခုဆက်လက်ပြီးမြင်တွေ့ရမယ့်ဝတ်စုံလေးကတော့ဟာခါကိုစားပြုအလှမဲ့ရဲ့ဝတ်စုံလေးပဲဖြစ်ပါတယ်ဒီဇိုင်နာ Ro King မှဖန်တီးချုပ်လုပ်ပေးထားပြီး costume ရဲ့ name ကတော့ Control သမီးပြိုလို့အမည်ရပါတယ်ရှင်ရှေးခါကချင်းတောင်ဟာခါဒေသရှိအုတ်ချုပ်သူအကြီးအကဲတွေကျွေဝချမ်းသာသူတို့ဟာ၎င်းတို့ရဲ့ကျင်သူတထားဇနီးဖြစ်သူကိုမိမိရဲ့ကျွေဝချမ်းသာမှုများနဲ့ဂုဏ်ပြုရန်အတွက် Control ပွဲကိုကျင်းပရရှိခဲ့ကြပါတယ်ယခုခေတ်နောက်ပိုင်းမှာဆိုရင်တော့ဇနီးဖြစ်သူသားမကသမီးများကိုပါလှပကြောင်းဉာဏ်ပညာထက်မြက်ကြောင်းကျွယ်ဝချမ်းသာကြောင်းဂုဏ်ပြုပေးတဲ့အနေနဲ့ကျင်းပလာကြပါတယ်။ပွဲကျင်းပသူအမျိုးသားကထိုပွဲမှာမိမိအမျိုးသမီးနဲ့သမီးများကိုကောင်းမွန်လှပပြီးတန်ဖိုးကြီးသည့်အဝတ်အစားလက်ဝတ်တစားများကိုစင်ရင်ဝတ်ဆင်စေပါတယ်။ခွန်ချွယ်ပွဲမှာဂုဏ်ပြုခံရတဲ့ချင်းအမျိုးသမီးများဝတ်ဆင်အသုံးပြုတဲ့လက်ဝတ်တစားများနဲ့ချင်းရိုးရာဝတ်ထည်များကိုအခြေခံပြီးအမျိုးသားဝတ်စုံအဖြစ်ဖန်တီးထားခြင်းပဲဖြစ်ပါရဲ့ရှင်။ချင်းတောင်ဟာကားဒေသရှိအမျိုးသားများရဲ့ခွန်ချွယ်ပွဲဖြင့်မိမိအမျိုးသမီးနဲ့သမီးများကိုအမျက်တနိုးတန်မိုးထားဂုဏ်ပြုပေးသောရိုးရာဓလေ့ဖြစ်ကြောင်းကိုသိရှိစေရန်အတွက်ဖန်တီးချုပ်လုပ်ပေးထားတာပဲဖြစ်ပါရဲ့ရှင်။
ညီမကိုအခုလိုမျိုးတကယ်ချင်းလူမျိုးစစ်တွေကညီမအရင်အားပေးကြတဲ့အတွက်အရင်ဝမ်းသာပါတယ်လို့ညီမကဒီဟာခါမျိုးကိုစားပြုဖြစ်တဲ့အတွက်ညီမအတွက်လည်းအရင်တာဝန်ကြီးခဲ့တယ်အမားရတစ်ခုမှမရှိအောင်လည်းဒါညီမဟိုဆောင်ရွက်ခဲ့တဲ့အတွက်ကြောင့်ညီမဒီ Miss Universe မြန်မာတိုက်တယ်ကိုရခဲ့ရဖြစ်ပါတယ်အဲ့ဒီတော့ညီမကိုအကုန်လုံးကချစ်တဲ့အကြည့်လေးနဲ့ချစ်တဲ့မျက်စိလေးနဲ့ကြည့်ပေးတတ်ကြတဲ့အတွက်အရင်ဝမ်းသာပါတယ်လို့ညီမကိုဆက်ပြီးတော့လည်းအားပေးကြပါအောင်လို့ပြောချင်ပါတယ်
Right. So I apologize for those of you that didn't have subtitles. If you were having any typical technical difficulties with your audio or anything like that. But that was like a really cool video just in general, like in terms of not even necessarily understanding what was being said, like the phonetics of language and the difference in the phonetics of language that we've heard throughout these presentations is just interesting to me in general. I really wish I could understand what was being said, and I definitely don't want to require a burden on you, Zunlong, to try to translate all that, because I feel like that was a lot of information, and there might be some of it that you might not have understood as well. But I am curious, was there anything that you were taking away from the video that you could communicate to all of us that might be beneficial?
Oh yeah, actually I can translate some of it. It said actually she is competing the Miss Universe, right? So in Burma there's 7 different states. So she was representing Chin State because she said there was like some difficulty of transportation, like coming to Yangon. Yangon is the main states, like main states in Burma. So So the people from Chin State, they couldn't come to Yangon because of difficulty transportation. So that's why they had the beauty pageant director said someone has to represent Chin State as well. That's why she was elected. She was selected as a Chin State representative. So that's why. And then she won the Miss Universe as well. I mean, like in Burma first, to represent Miss Universe, she won the first place. So that's how it that's how she wears the Chin national costume as well. But she says she's not Chin. She's not Chin. She just from she's a Burmese. And she lives in Yangon. She says she have never been to Chin State as well. She says that's why she said since she's representing someone's cult like tradition, she says she has more responsibility, and it's kind of heavy her as well. She wants to do good at it. She wants to be more careful about other people's culture. That's what she was telling us.
That was an amazing reflection, like sublimation of everything. I really appreciate that. And like just understanding that people are thinking deeply about how they represent their culture and how people might be looking at them as a representation of their culture, and then using that platform is really important.
Yeah. Sure.
Beautiful. Okay, so this time, let's see. We are coming towards the end of the videos and materials that we have. Unfortunately, the other person, I kind of wanted to hold off to see if they were going to be able to come and introduce themselves, but they are having technical difficulties that unfortunately is not going to allow them to be here today. But what I would like to do before we leave is I want to make sure that we have an understanding of the organization that helped put some of the materials together that we were enjoying today. And so I actually just put the organization's website in the chat, and I'm going to screen share the website right now so that we can see. And it is the Chin Association of Maryland. And so if you are looking to find out any information that is in connection to, again, the 7 to 8 different ethnic groups that exist and the different cultures that exist within the Chin family diaspora, this would be a really good place to start to also recognize and be able to help with some of the things that are currently happening in terms of the country, and also how it might be connecting to the change or influx to our population here. So there might be people that are moving from these areas and having a greater understanding of where they're moving from and why they're moving and how we can support can be very, very beneficial for all citizens, but especially focusing on the Chin family as we're understanding some of the things that they are interacting with. And so on this website, there's contact information. Please make sure that you share this information, you check it out yourself, as well as making sure that you're continually engaging. There are a lot of ways in which we can essentially just be learning more about one another. Even if you don't necessarily have the intention of coming to an event or donating or doing anything like that, taking the time to make sure that you're being intentional about learning more about the people who are around you and how they might be experiencing life and the county is really important from the standpoint of being a resident, from the standpoint of making sure that we are creating a collective community that honors the dignity of all people that exist within our space. And so at this time, I would like to just make sure that if there's any questions or if anyone has any last things that they would like to say before we end, this would actually be the time that we're going to kind of wrap things up. And Zunglong, before we do anything, I just would like to thank you so much for taking the time, energy, and dedication to actually walk us through this. I also just appreciate you kind of being the sole person and speaking for your culture, which I know can sometimes feel a little bit weird, but I think you did an amazing job of showing that your culture is multifaceted, just as our culture as Howard Countyans is multifaceted.
much as well.
Beautiful. So at this time, if there isn't any questions or comments, please, by all means, don't be afraid to copy and paste the chat so that you can have some of those videos and rewatch them, as well as paying a visit to the Chin Association of Maryland's page so that you can get just more information about what's going on and how you can support, and how you can just learn more about the amazing cultures that exist within the Chin family.
Something.
Oh, yes, please.
And yeah, I just want to say also, if you want to support Chin IDP camp in Burma, you can do so as well. I can send the link here. Is that okay?
Yes, please, please.
Yeah. Send the link. Okay. Here, I just sent it. You can help support as well. And
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Of course, of course. So I'm just making sure I didn't miss any questions or anything in the chat. It looks like we're all good. And I see your link in the chat. All right, awesome. I think at this time, this would be a good time for us to close and to say thank you again. Thank you, thank you, thank you for taking the time to walk us through the process of getting to know your culture, as well as connecting to your culture and our overall culture a little bit better. For everyone else, thank you as well for being present, which is different than being here. See you all tomorrow, hopefully, at the next one, and have an amazing night.
Yeah, you too. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.